What happens when your hero suddenly shows up wearing enemy colors? From idol to villain, from cheers to death threats, these are the ultimate betrayals. Let's get to it. Let's start with the most symbolic betrayal no one saw coming. The Cruyff double cross. Johan Cruyff wasn't just a football legend, he was Barcelona. He transformed the club's style, gave them identity, and shaped their philosophy. When he spoke, the Camp Nou listened like it was gospel. Then, in 1996, his son, Jordi Cro, signs for Real Madrid. You could hear jaws hit the floor across Catalonia. It wasn't just a transfer, it was symbolic treason. Jordi wasn't even world-class. He was decent, a La Masia product, decent technique. But that didn't matter. He carried the Cruyff name, and the name belonged to Barca. To see it printed on a Real Madrid shirt was like watching your national anthem remixed into a club anthem. The reaction was quiet, but brutal. Barcelona fans weren't angry. They were heartbroken. Madrid fans didn't know how to react either. They were happy, but also confused. It was the weirdest version of Meet the Parents football had ever seen. Imagine if Paolo Maldini's kid suddenly captained Inter Milan, or if Xavi's daughter grew up and managed Espanyol. That's how deep this cut. No pitchforks, no riots, just pure spiritual betrayal. Bagio's purple rejection. Roberto Bagio was more than just a player at Fiorentina. He was a religion. He carried the club, gave them pride, and even once refused to score against them. He literally didn't take a penalty against Fiorentina while playing for Juventus. That's how much they meant to him, or how much they thought they meant to him. In 1990, Juventus slapped down a world record transfer fee, and Bagio accepted just like that. Fans lost it. Florence exploded, riots broke out, shops were looted, over 50 people were injured. You'd think they lost a war, not a footballer. When Bagio returned to Florence wearing black and white, it got even worse. During the match, someone threw a Fiorentina scarf onto the pitch. Bagio picked it up and kissed it while playing for Juventus. The man was basically adding lighter fluid to a bonfire. It was betrayal and confusion mixed into one. Juve fans were furious. Fiorentina fans were crushed. Adebayor's full-court revenge tour. Emmanuel Adebayor didn't just betray Arsenal once, he did it twice. First, in 2009, he jumped ship to Manchester City. Fair enough. More money, more ambition, we've seen it before. But then came the infamous goal. He scores against Arsenal, and instead of a calm fist pump, he sprints the entire pitch, 100 meters, just to knee slide in front of the Arsenal fans. Not even a World Cup winner would celebrate that hard. It wasn't celebration, it was revenge therapy. Arsenal fans were ready to riot. They threw bottles, coins, insults, everything but the kitchen sink. Adebayor said, "They booed me all game." So he gave them a reason to keep booing for the next decade. But he wasn't done. A few years later, he joined Tottenham. That's Arsenal's ultimate enemy. It was like the villain went from robbing your house to marrying your sister. He went from striker to football's joker. Mario Götze, the boy who broke Dortmund. Mario Götze was supposed to be Dortmund's Messi, born and raised at the club, product of their academy, loved by fans. He wasn't just good, he was golden. Quick feet, smart passing, ice-cold finishing, he had it all. Then came 2013. Dortmund was about to play Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. Dream matchup. German football's ultimate showdown. But just days before the final, the bomb drops. Götze has agreed to join Bayern. The timing couldn't be worse. It wasn't just a transfer, it was sabotage. Your star player, your crown jewel, your hope for victory, joining the enemy before the biggest game of your club's history. Dortmund fans didn't just boo, they mourned. Götze went from hero to ghost in 1 week. He never hit those heights again. Bayern didn't love him the way Dortmund did, and in the end, it felt like football karma came full circle. Luis Enrique flipped the script. Luis Enrique wore the white of Madrid for 5 seasons. He scored big goals, wore the armband, and played with passion. Madrid fans liked him. He wasn't a Galactico, but he was solid, reliable. Then came the twist. In 1996, he said he didn't feel appreciated at Madrid, and without warning, signed for Barcelona. Cue the rage. Barca fans were cautious at first, but Enrique won them over quickly. He fought for every ball, scored in Clásicos, and even became captain. Eventually, he'd go on to coach Barcelona and win the treble. For Madrid fans, they never forgave him. Enrique didn't just switch sides, he built a new legacy from scratch, right under Madrid's nose. And for them, that made it 10 times worse. What made it sting more? He thrived more at Barcelona than he ever did at Madrid. That's the kind of betrayal that lasts for generations. Sol Campbell, the snake of North London. Sol Campbell wasn't just any Tottenham player. He was their captain, their leader. He came through the academy. The fans loved him. He was the symbol of loyalty in a team that never really won anything. Then, out of nowhere, in 2001, he's unveiled at Highbury, wearing red. No build-up, no goodbye, no transfer saga. Just boom, he became an Arsenal player. For free. Tottenham fans were blindsided. Their best player had crossed the street and gone to war for the enemy. The betrayal was nuclear. Spurs fans called him Judas. They brought banners to games, chanted abuse for years. Even when he wasn't playing, he got booed. Some fans never watched another match. One guy even got banned for threatening him on live TV. And what did Campbell do? He didn't just leave, he won. He became an invincible. He lifted 2 Premier League titles and 2 FA Cups. He scored in a Champions League final. He became everything Spurs never had. Meanwhile, Tottenham spiraled. They changed managers, changed squads, but the betrayal haunted them. They've spent decades trying to erase the scar. They never got closure. They just got more pain. And Campbell, he never looked back. Cold, calculated, career-defining, and the most hated man in North London. Like what you're seeing? Help us hit 5,000 subs before the next El Clasico kicks off. Let's continue. Andrea Pirlo, the composer that changes symphonies. Pirlo was never supposed to leave Milan in disgrace, but before he even got to AC Milan, Inter Milan had him, signed him young, thought he was too slow, didn't know what to do with him, so they sold him across town to AC Milan. That's when Pirlo changed the game, literally. He became the architect of one of Europe's greatest teams. He won 2 Champions League titles. He dominated the midfield with a calm elegance nobody could touch. He wasn't loud, he wasn't flashy, but he ran the show. Inter fans didn't even realize what they gave away until it was too late. Year after year, they watched Pirlo slice them open with passes, dictate the tempo, win everything they wanted. And here's the thing, Pirlo never taunted, never talked, no drama, just clean betrayal. It hurt more because it was so quiet. It was betrayal in its purest form. There was no anger, no noise, just brutal brilliance. And by the time Inter finally got good again, Pirlo had already carved his name into AC Milan's history books. Every time they played him, it was like watching a masterpiece they once owned and gave away for nothing. Carlos Tevez, from Red Devil to Blue Moon. Carlos Tevez was adored at Manchester United. Fans loved his aggression, his grit, his chaos. He won 2 league titles and a Champions League under Ferguson, and then he ghosted them. United tried to make the move permanent. Tevez said nothing, then boom! He joined Manchester City, their biggest rivals in their own city. It wasn't just a betrayal, it was personal. City didn't waste time. They put up a billboard in the middle of Manchester, Tevez in blue, smiling. Welcome to Manchester. The city erupted. Red fans were livid, blue fans were reborn. And Tevez wasn't just a mascot, he scored goals, captained the team, took them to their first Premier League title in 44 years. Meanwhile, United was stuck trying to replace him with Berbatov and Owen. But it didn't work. Fergie fumed. Fans burned his shirt. Tevez didn't care. He did laps of honour in front of United fans just to twist the knife. He didn't betray quietly. He celebrated it. For Manchester United fans, he wasn't just a traitor. He became a walking reminder of what they lost and what City became. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the Milan traitor. Zlatan's entire career is betrayal, but his Milan story is a trilogy of madness. He starts at Juventus, becomes a star. Then Calciopoli hits. Juve gets relegated. Zlatan jumps ship, joins Inter Milan, straight into their biggest rival's dressing room. He dominates Serie A, wins 3 league titles, then leaves for Barcelona and then returned back to Italy, but not to Inter. No! He signed with AC Milan, their arch enemies. That's 2 betrayals, 2 Milan clubs, and then, just because it's Zlatan, he leaves, goes around the world, then comes back again to AC Milan in his late 30s, and still scores like a machine. Inter fans don't even know how to process him. They loved him, then hated him, then feared him, then kind of respected him. It's confusing, but one thing's clear. Zlatan owns Milan, every part of it, and he knows it. Once said, "I came like a king, left like a legend." He wasn't joking. He betrayed both clubs and still walked out as their best striker in a decade. Only Zlatan could pull this off and still get standing ovations from both sides of the city. Luis Figo, the ultimate traitor. Luis Figo was Barcelona's golden boy, their captain, their leader. Fans painted murals of him. Kids wore his jersey. Then, 2000 happened. Real Madrid, in a presidential power move, activates his release clause. Figo goes quiet. Doesn't deny it, doesn't confirm it. Then, boom! He's holding up the white shirt, smiling. Barca fans lost their minds. Pure rage. When Figo returned to Camp Nou as a Madrid player, it wasn't just boos, it was a war. Riot police surrounded the corner flag just so he could take a corner kick. They threw coins, bottles, cell phones. That moment didn't just break the rivalry, it escalated it into hatred. Figo still won trophies, league titles, became part of the Galacticos, but he never shook the title traitor. No handshake from ex-teammates, no tribute video, just a legacy split in half. And even today, no betrayal comes close. It wasn't just about football, it was about identity, pride, culture. He went from loved to loathed overnight, and he never came back. So who was the worst traitor of them all? Figo's pighead incident, Campbell ghosting his boyhood club, Tevez posing on that billboard like a movie villain. Every name on this list didn't just break a contract. They broke hearts, cities, and rivalries. And trust me, the next time a player kisses a badge, don't believe it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back for more football drama in snackable doses.